All right, real quick, Smell Good family. You know, I always have a PSA. All right, but today's video it's necessary to have a PSA. All right, so quite often I get asked, D, what are some panty droppers? What are some fragrances to bag the ladies or get to the ladies, and just all different kind of wild recommendations and suggestions that I get. And I understand the conversation of it, no matter the title that's put on it. But first and foremost, fellas, you got to come with it, bruh. Like, you got to be groomed properly. You got to be moisturized. Your breath can't be smelling like birch tar. Like, you gotta represent. You gotta be dressed well. Make sure your clothes fit. Make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. If you're, looking for your future or your next ex, whatever it's going to be. All right. So take care of yourselves, fellas. All right. That hygiene matters. So before we even get into recommendations, I just felt the need to say it, because I'm gonna keep it 100. Sometimes, just sometimes, I see some of y'all boys out here, man. Y'all can't be upset because they don't want to holler back at you. You can't be upset because she's going that away. You just can't be. So make sure you do your part without these fragrances. But now, let's get to today's video and talk about some fragrances. Just a little PSA. Don't be offended. If you are, maybe you need it here. YouTube, what's going on, YouTube? What is going on? What is happening, man? Of course, it's your guy one more time, DEDRICKHICKSJR, and I'm back with another fragrance video. Smell Good family. Hopefully everyone is doing well, doing great, doing fantastic. And as always, man, it's positive energy, it's positive vibes, and most importantly, it is positive vibes only. All right, so today we're going to be talking about fragrances that, these could assist. These could assist in you getting her attention. All right. That conversation starter, or even going out on a first date, or maybe even mingling while you're out at the bar or the club or the lounge, or whatever the invitation could be. These fragrances could apply a layer of mysteriousness, mystery. They might be curious because they're looking at your presentation, and they also are smelling you, and it's a combination of both. Now, again, of course, fragrances can't do anything for you, but they could be a part of your wardrobe. And in our case, me and you guys watching, fragrances are a part of our wardrobe. All right, so we know a little something. All right, so let's get into it, man. I got 5 fragrances here, and if you're trying to get her attention, you'll get it most likely with these. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. Up first, man, this stuff is amazing. I'm a huge fan of white florals, and it's a beautiful representation of white florals, and another favorite note of mine of cashmere. And what are we talking about? From the house of Sospetto, we have Contratto. Man, this stuff is amazing, man. It's amazing. It's the perfect blend of white florals, citrus, and that cashmere. And that cashmere comes out very cozy, soft, fuzzy, and then you get the white floral representation in here that just blends really well. That creamy, silky smooth texture to the fragrance. This stuff is amazing. Now, some may feel it may lean a little feminine, but fellas, let me give you a secret. You can't wear hard fragrances all the time. Well, you can do what you want, but it's not in a book or something that you gotta wear masculine scents 100% of the time if you're a man. Relax. You gotta open up your palette. And trust me, fellas, ladies love DNAs like this. So if you're walking through somewhere, a social event, you're kind of moving through, you're dressed to par, you're looking good, you're confident in yourself, and you got on something like this, you're gonna grab some attention. This stuff travels, this stuff reaches out, and it's just overall, honestly, it's a sexy profile. It's a sexy profile that women do really appreciate. When I've worn this, I have gotten a compliment when I've worn this from women. All right, so this is a really, really good one. I personally like this better than the one from Byredo, Ball de Freak. And I think Ball de Freak is excellent, but I like this a little bit more. But Sospetto Contratto, it's one, fellas, to tap into This is a great one, especially if you're socially moving around. Leans a little feminine, yes. Not gonna be for everybody, understood. But hey, it could be a secret weapon if you let it. Up next, man, look. The conversation of the greatest cherry fragrance of all time is running rampant in the community. But y'all know where I stand. I still stand on it. This right here is a compliment magnet. You walking out the house, you dressed the part, you're moving, with good energy and good vibes, and you're smelling like this, man, you might have to push them up off you for sure. From the house of Mind Games, we have French Defense. Man, please. Man, the conversation out there is running wild between this one and Bodacious, which is excellent. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a 9 out of 10, but this is a 10 out of 10 for me. Why is that? Well, I love the black cherry kind of honey booze vibe with this fragrance, man. This stuff is awesome. It's super sexy. The mysterious factor is definitely there, and especially if you're moving around in the lounges or the clubs or a party or some type of major social event, you're stepping out. You're dressed well, you're not wearing baggy jeans and t-shirts. You're not doing that. This is not the type of event. You got to put on that collared shirt, you're putting on that suit, you're putting on maybe that sports coat with a nice pair of slacks and some nice dress shoes. Like you're coming, you're representing. There's no hats tonight. If you're bald, you're bald. You got dreads or braids, that's what it is. You got a low cut, you're taped up, you're faded up, that's what it is. That type of event. This right here is awesome, man. It's a very beautiful, sexy, semi-playful fragrance, man. And it garners a lot of attention. So if you're moving around trying to find you're someone to spend your life with, or you might be looking for your next ex. I'm just keeping it 1,000 now. This is where we at. Well, not me, but you know what I'm talking about. From the house of Mind Games. It could be one, fellas. Ladies, you too. Y'all not exempt. This is one. This stuff smells incredible. Off of my wife, amazing. This smells better on her than it does on me. The first time she wore it, I was like, oh my God. And maybe it's just my love for the DNA, but this is outstanding. The greatest cherry fragrance living. It's not actually alive, but the greatest cherry fragrance out right now. Mind Games, French Defense. I can go on and on about this one for sure. This stuff is spectacular. Spectacular. Up next, a fragrance you don't see much in the community, but God, if you love honey, woo, this is a good one, man. I've only talked about this a couple of times, but this right here is wild. From the house of Regalian, we have, it's Aja. All right, Aja. Man, God, this is a rich fragrance. Honey, booze. There's some spices in here as well. It is well done. If you know anything about the house of Regalian, they do excellent work. Their quality, their blends are beautiful. This is along the lines of what Contralto can do. One of those more sexier, unique blends. I'm not going to call it a gourmand, but it definitely leans on the sweeter side. The honey in here is like this kind of dark honey. If you know about honey, and I do, because I grew up, and some of y'all probably have as well, going to those farmers markets, and they have like the lighter honey, the darker honeys. And I distinctively remember that. I've mentioned it on this channel before. My mom used to take me and my siblings, we would go to the farmers market, and they would put the honey on the crackers. And I remember the darker honeys being a little bit more bolder, being a little bit more interesting than the regular, to the eyesight at least, honey. And that's what this is. It's like a darker honey infused with some booze and some spices. There's some underlying tonka here as well that really magnifies the fragrance as you continue to wear it. But in the setting, man, if you and the fellas are going out and you really trying to stand out, because they might be wearing, I ain't dissing it now, but they might be wearing like, YSL EDP and Dior Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel EDP. They could be wearing those and they could be smelling great. But you wearing this, or you gonna get all the looks. You're gonna be drafted #1 overall. you're gonna be drafted #1 overall. You coming there looking like something and smelling like this, oh yeah. You're walking by people, you're maneuvering, you know, if it's that type of vibe, or even if you're going on the first date with that new potential special someone. Like, this could be a great first date if y'all going out having a good time, because she gonna be wondering like, yo, what is he wearing? You're gonna instantly become a memory. Either way the date goes, all right? So this is outstanding, man. From the house of Regalian, we have Asla. This stuff is fire. If you love honey and booze, yes sir. All right, so we're gonna switch up the pace a little bit because it's not all about sweet fragrances. You know, you can still be masculine and still be fly and still wear a masculine fragrance and still garner attention just like a sweeter fragrance would. So if you're trying to grab her attention, I got 2 here for sure, that these are masculine to the touch, they're unique, and they definitely are going to get somebody's attention because that's what these profiles do, all right? Up first, from the house of Zaharoff. Boy, this stuff is super masculine, super sexy. From the house of Zaharoff, we have Signature Royale XXX. XXX. And I love the back of these bottles here. Now, I champion the Royale X a lot. That's a much more tamer version than this. This is beautiful. It's musky. It's woody. The juniper in here is beautiful. There's this pop to this fragrance, man. You get woods, you get spices, you get musk. This smells like a successful man who knows how to clean up right. This is somebody who was very in tune with putting his best foot forward and not on a basic vibe. I'm just being honest. He understands the assignment. So whether he's in the cigar lounge with this, if this is a date to a very nice high-class steakhouse restaurant, or if he is mingling through a social event, you know, where it's kind of more of an adult vibe. You know, for me, I'm far removed from the you know, Jordan t-shirts and baggy shorts era. You know, when me and my friends were going out back in the late 90s and early 2000s and mid 2000s. But you know, now I'm 41 years old. And this is the vibe. This is me. This is like for real me, you know, stepping out with my wife, going out to events, you know, hanging out, you know, like this is what I'm on. And this is very masculine. And again, when my wife smelled this one and the original, well, the X, she said, wow, this smells like the man. Like the man is wearing this. Walking into the room, getting that attention, you smell like the man. And it was a very genuine reaction to this fragrance. So I only wear this one really on the more upscale occasions because, like I said, this one has a little bit more edge to it, a lot more sex appeal to it, and it's definitely more, in my opinion, more suited for those more classier adult grown vibe events. If you haven't got this is arguably the best in the whole Zaharoff line. Arguably, seriously, and one of the better masculine DNAs you can get your nose on. From the house of Zaharoff, we have Signature Royale XXX. Fellas, this is one of those ones for sure. All right, and last but not least, my goodness, the masculine representer here, but in such a unique way. This is the best cannabis fragrance that I've got my nose on, and I've smelled a couple, but they don't come close to this one from what I've smelled so far. From the house of Savoir Faire, we have Indictiva. Wow. Beautiful, man. That cannabis is blended so well with other woods. There's a little bit of a citrus flair in the opening of this, but the woods here, those green touches, that spice, the cannabis in here is not coming off like some funky low-grade weed. It's not at all. As a matter of fact, there's no funk to this fragrance. Chris Classic and his team perfected it with this one, man. Independent niche house, black-owned brand, fully understood the assignment when it came to a very grown and masculine fragrance that putting this on, going out, and you're trying to grab her attention, bro, it's a no-brainer, bro. Now, everybody can't wear this. A lot of boys ain't gonna have the confidence. A lot of boys they're not gonna have the confidence. They're gonna have to stick to the blue fragrances. They're gonna have to stick to those fragrances. And I'm not dissing anything. I'm just saying for this situation that I am talking about, and I'm not even saying that blue fragrances won't work in that moment. They probably will. But we're not talking about probably will. We're talking about, hey, yo, who's that? Who's that dressed like that, looking like that, groomed like that? And my God, what is he wearing? That's what we're talking about with this. The House of Savoir Faire is ridiculous. I could have put Soul Cafe up here. I got a few more coming from Savoir Faire. I've tested out the line. I got sample sets and samples. Gold. But this right here is one of the most interesting fragrances that I've got my nose on. And on the masculine level, my goodness. My goodness. This is lounge. This is what do we call it? Yeah, the lounges, the more upscale bars, not those other ones. Upscale. Upscale. You got to get dressed. You're going out to the social hour in your community. Everybody kind of gets dressed and gets fly. Music is playing, drinks and food, and maybe a little cigar smokes going on. Like, there's a lot of opportunities to pull something like this off. So masculine for sure. This stuff is outstanding, beautifully crafted, and such an experience. Again, you hear the note cannabis, don't fret. Like I said, it doesn't smell like low-grade weed. That's not what you're getting here. You're getting something beautiful for sure. Fellas, I highly recommend looking into this one. From the House of Savoir Faire, we have Indictiva. This stuff is outstanding. Huge fan of this, man. I was so glad I was introduced to this. Oh my God, outstanding. I love this. So different, so unique. The best cannabis fragrance I ever smelled, for sure. All right, so there you have it. You trying to get attention, fellas? Those are 5 to look into. Now, of course, there's many other fragrances that you can look into, and you should if you're looking for something to add to your fragrance wardrobe. But remember the PSA. Come dress right. My computer alarm. Come dress right. Come groom right. Articulate yourself. Make yourself present. Know how to read the room and all those things, man, and maybe it could go your way. Because, hey, either you're going to meet your future, or maybe you're right now, or maybe your future ex. That's how it's going to go. All right, so y'all have fun out there. Y'all be safe out there. I'm retired, Jersey and the Raptors. I'm good to go. I'm good. All right, but I know how it is, and this video is for you. All right, so I appreciate y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the content. Thank y'all for watching. Hit that subscribe button to be the next member of the Smell Good family. We're here, man. We talk about what you love and what I love, and that's the beautiful art of fragrances. All right, so until next time, be cool, be safe, take care of yourselves. Positive energy, positive vibes. Most importantly, it's positive vibes only. Appreciate y'all once again, man. This channel is nothing without y'all. Thank y'all for the support. All right, peace, man. Till next time, Splacker. Moisturize now.